Hi guys, welcome back. Like I mentioned in my last video, so we're going to start a series for how to create that perfect suit and presentation through my company, Couture. So here we are with our first installment, and I have with me Amy. She's my my willing test subject. And essentially what we're going to do today is we're going to go through what I do with each one of my clients, which is their first consultation with me. Now, when I do my consultations, if you are local to like the Northern Virginia, DC, Maryland area, I do prefer that you come see me. So I like to see you in person and actually give you the evaluation in person. If you're not local, which I do have girls everywhere, I actually just signed on a girl in Japan. So if you're not local, we get on Skype and do it through video chat. So it's the same kind of thing, same exact measure of everything that we do. It's just through the wonderful uses of technology. So today you're going to get a little bit of a glimpse into the world that we have to go through here in order to make our presentation perfect for stage. So we are about we're still 4 months out from your show, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think 12 or 13 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
so yeah, she's not competing until April. And one of the things that a lot of people wonder about is why we start so soon. So the reason why we do start so soon is because everything I make is couture. It's made specifically for that person. So we are starting today with just the basic first consultation, going to go through everything, and we're going to go from there. But before we get into all that, I do want Amy to tell you a little bit about herself and what she's into as far as her competitions and beyond that, her real life. So take it away.
Okay, great. My name's Amy Horvath, and I am fairly new to the world of figure competitions. This will be in April, the first anniversary. My first show is last April with the NPC Max Muscle. And I did not get into this until I was 40. So
it's never too late.
My first competition, I was 41 after 4 babies.
Yeah. And
so this year competing, I'll be 42, and hopefully coming in onto stage with a little bit more confidence and hopefully a tighter physique and a little bit more muscularity.
And just better all around,
right.
Basically just improvements.
Yes.
That's one thing I always tell my clients too, is that you can't base your improvement upon your placing and things like that, because you never know who you're going to be standing next to on stage.
Right.
So as long as you are personally bringing a better package than you brought last time, you're doing better. And that's my goal with Competition Couture, is I want to make sure that each one of my girls goes on stage looking and feeling better than they did the last time.
Right.
So the next thing that we wanted to go through is I get a lot of very similar questions from all my girls that I work with. So I wanted Amy to go ahead and just shoot off a few questions she has for me that most people normally do have.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess the first question I have is you mentioned that you do like to start so early. And I am a good 7, maybe 8% to go in body fat still. I mean, how are you going to be able to guesstimate or estimate where I'm going to be on the day of the event as compared to now, where I still have so much to lose?
And that's a very typical question that I get. And the main reason that people wonder that is they know they're at a starting point and they've got an ending point and they've got to go week by week by week by week. And I understand that because I've done it myself. Last year, those of you that followed me along with my prep, you saw how my physique changed as I went from week to week to week. As a suit designer, I know all these things. And I know your body structure isn't going to change. Your body fat percentage, all that kind of stuff is going to go down as you diet and dial in for a show. But your physical structure, your bone structure, your body type isn't going to change. And that's the part that I need to fit. I make my suit to fit your body as opposed to fitting your current state the way you are now. And because it is a couture piece, and nobody else is ever going to have anything like it, it takes a long time to make. I don't just sit down and bust out suit after suit after suit. I actually sit down, create your pattern from your measurements, and put each suit together individually. So I do need that time to be able to do it. And then when the finished product comes on stage, you're going to be unique because nobody else is going to have anything even remotely similar to it.
Right. What exactly do you take into consideration? I mean, I know my suit last year, everybody was like, my critiques were, it's not, angle high enough up on my waist. It doesn't taper me enough. So I mean, how all do you factor all that into the design based off my physique?
All of that goes into play. When I look at a person, I can usually tell from seeing them in person what their physique highlights are and what their physique lowlights are. So when I create the suit, I create those around those things so that I can make sure that what your physique is great at, that I highlight those aspects. Okay. It really helps me to see photos of you just in everyday life, also on stage if you've competed before, because I can see how your frame looks on stage. And again, that comes just from being in the industry and being a competitor myself. I know what the judges are looking for, and knowing what the judges are looking for, I know how to create a suit that's going to show off those different aspects. The right features. So, like, for example, I have a girl that I'm working with right now that has an extremely long torso, and the last time she wore a suit, it was really boxy. It was down lower on her hips, and it just completely hid the fact that she had this teeny tiny little waist. So instead, you know, we take those straps and pull them way up high, even though it seems a little strange, but it completely brought her waist in and gave her that beautiful X frame that we were looking for, you know. So all those things make a difference, and if one of those things is off, the judges may not be able to tell you exactly what it is that's off about it. They just know it's off. Right. And then by going back and looking through pictures and things like that, you can see what it is and see what you can do to highlight those aspects instead.
Right. So great. Another question that I had was, why would I want to spend the extra money on the couture suits, which are so much more expensive, than one that I can just get, you know, off the rack, or one that, you know, has been, you know, used by somebody else that may not fit my physique necessarily. Right.
And that's, for a lot of people, you know, sometimes that does help, because I know it's an expensive sport. We get that. But when you're trying to improve what you're putting on stage, every little thing helps. And, you know, just like we were talking about before, where I can make your suit look how it's supposed to highlight your frame, it's not going to do the same thing for somebody else. Right. So even if you've got this amazing couture suit and you hand it off to your friend, it's not going to look amazing on her because it wasn't made for her. So that's really where that comes into play. You want to have somebody on your side who's going to do their best to highlight all those parts of your body. You know, and something off the rack is just not going to fit you as well. I mean, if you think about it this way, when every girl gets married, she goes and gets her dream wedding dress. It's her dream wedding dress that she sees, you know, but she still takes it and gets it altered after that, right? It's because it doesn't fit her body. Right. So it's not made for her. So that's how all those other suits are when they're just, you know, manufactured that way. Right. When you actually have somebody create something for you, for your specific body type, it really, really highlights all the aspects of your body that you want to have seen. Now, the other thing that I take into account with my girls too is that I know what colors and styles look good on stage too. Like, I know not to put a blonde in a really light color on stage because it never highlights them well. It always makes them look washed out. I know that women with darker skin look great in those light colors, you know, so I can put them in those light colors, and also the colors that fit their personality too. A lot of times you'll see girls on stage in really dark, deep colors, and they're really light, fun, you know, bouncy person on stage. It completely detracts from their personality on stage too. So you don't realize how many little things make a difference, but all those little things make a really big difference. When you're standing on stage next to 20 other girls who look amazing, you've got to have something that's going to make you stand out.
Absolutely.
You know, something that's going to say, the judges are going to say, oh, I like that girl. I don't know why, but I like that girl.
Exactly what I thought, as I stood on stage with 20 incredibly beautiful, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, how do you make the decision? And more often than not, that's what it comes down to. You know, it comes down to that suit, it comes down to the hair, it comes down to the tan, it comes down to the makeup. And all of that because the physiques are amazing. And, you know, one girl may have an amazing top half, and the other girl has an amazing bottom half, but so they're like dead even in that heat, which happens to me, and because I have a really, really skinny bottom half. But anyways, so then they start looking at the presentation and they say, okay, well, that girl really brought it on stage. She really walked with confidence. She smiled the whole time. Her suit looked incredible. Her makeup looked incredible.
That was actually something I got marked down for.
Your makeup?
No, my suit.
Oh, your suit.
The way the suit fit. It didn't fit me properly. And the judge, when I asked for critiques afterwards, I said, what can I do differently? I said, get another suit.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not this year.
I know. They are expensive.
Yes.
And, you know, people, that's another question I get a lot, too, is people don't understand why these suits are so expensive. They're teeny tiny little pieces of fabric, that kind of thing. And it's hard to explain why they're so expensive if you're not making them, because, you know, a good suit takes a good 20 hours to make from start to finish, because you're doing the pattern, then you make the suit, and then you do the bling, and the bling takes forever. If you're a, you know, really detailed oriented person, which I am, and so, you know, I want to make sure everything is perfect and symmetrical and all this kind of stuff, and it's all done by hand, 100% by hand. So it's not like you can just throw it into a machine and it's done in 5 minutes. So so it really does make a difference, and the judges will tell you that too. The judges will tell you that, so you get off stage and be like, you know, this is what you got to change. So.
Well, and that's why I'm perfect to be doing this with you, because I obviously need help with my suit, so it's in your capable hands.
All right. Well, and that's what I like too. I like when I get clients, girls that are just like, you know what, I've seen your work, I trust your opinion, go for it, because then I can just let loose and do my little fairy godmother magic.
Right.
So I think the next thing we need to do is we're just going to go ahead and go into what I typically do for a fitting for a girl. So we're going to be right back in a minute while she changes into her skimpy little outfit for me.
Remember, 8% to go.
I got you. Don't worry. Editing, video editing. We got this. We'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to actually do our measurements and go from there. Done. So, Amy, I want you to just tell me exactly what it is you want out of your suit. Tell me colors, style, how you want certain things to fit and flow for you.
Okay. Well, I think it's going to need to come up higher, probably on my hips, to give me more of a taper. I'm thinking. It's probably your expertise, not mine.
Yeah.
But what my suit last year made me look boxy.
Okay.
And the top of my suit last year wasn't coming all the way down, covering the bottom part of my breast, so I needed to have full coverage.
Okay.
And
got to keep the girls in place.
and hopefully my posing will be better this year, but I need to figure out how to pose without making my boobs go completely out.
Yeah.
So unless you've got some magic to keep them up and in.
Well, what we'll do is I'm going to make your hips, your hip straps really, really high. Your small part of your waist is right here.
Okay.
So we're going to make those hip straps come straight up to that spot. Okay. Because then from that point on, you're going to go out from here, and you're going to go out from here. So it doesn't matter how boxy you think you look.
Okay.
With the right suit cut, it's going to make you V in.
Okay.
Now, as far as your top, that happens to everybody. When they start to try to pose, the girls like to go out to the sides.
Right.
So what we'll start off with is we'll do a simple, really nice, pretty rounded cup, and we'll attach them in the middle.
Okay.
And that should help hold everything into place.
Okay.
Now, we may not even need to have that attachment in the middle. If we don't, we'll take it out.
Okay.
But we'll assess that as you move along and lean out, that kind of thing. Now, as far as the top style too, I do a few different types of styles. Do you like something with a little bit of a thicker strap or a little bit of a thinner strap up in here?
I had a thinner strap last year, and maybe I should go with thicker this time.
For me, I mean, I have a larger chest, so I go with a thicker strap because it helps keep everything in place.
Okay.
It's more of a halter style
Okay.
as opposed to a triangle top,
Right.
where a lot of girls can get away with a triangle top if they don't have a large chest or if they don't have that problem with their
Right.
breasts going outward.
Right.
But if you need that extra support, the
Okay.
halter kind of helps keep it in.
Okay.
So
That's very good.
good. Okay. And other than that, are you comfortable with teeny tiny little bottoms?
If you think I need them, I guess I will.
Well, here's my thing. When you put a suit on a booty, the booty should be the main focus, not the suit.
Right.
And if you make a suit that is too large, the only thing you look at is the suit. You don't look at the booty.
Right.
So my thought is that smaller is better.
Okay.
Obviously, you don't want it teeny tiny,
Right.
but you want the focus to be on the shape of your glutes and not on the shape of the suit.
Right.
And more often than not, if the suit's too big back there, it ends up looking like a diaper.
Right.
So
Right.
instead, we go a little bit smaller, and then that focuses on your glute area as opposed
Okay.
to the suit itself.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Do you have any concerns about your body that you need to have that you want to have covered up? I have girls that have mentioned that they want their scar from their cesarean section covered or anything like that.
I was blessed without a cesarean scar. Four
Okay,
children,
perfect.
no scars, and no stretch marks either, so I'm lucky there.
Good.
No, I think just whatever's gonna showcase my physique.
Okay. And as far as colors, what's your thoughts on colors?
Probably, I like the darker, bolder colors like this and
Jewel
red.
tones?
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah. Pinks, reds, dark pinks, dark reds, dark blue. I liked the color of my suit last year was a dark blue. And surprisingly, I also like bright lime green.
Okay.
So
Okay.
anything.
For my
Your
thoughts,
expertise.
yeah, my thoughts personally, when blondes put on colors that are too dark, they end up looking too hard.
Okay.
But that being said, blondes need darker colors on stage.
Right.
Like I mentioned before, lighter colors kind of just wash blondes out.
Right.
So you need to find that happy medium.
Right.
So I think for you, a nice bright jewel tone, almost cherry red would look really, really pretty on you.
Okay.
Because it'd be a nice deep color, but it's not going to be so deep that it's going to look hard. It's going to keep
Okay.
you looking soft and feminine and beautiful on stage,
Okay.
which is what we want.
What I want.
So, and then on top of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some special bling and stuff like that too. So I want to incorporate, like you said, some of those other colors in there as well. The reds, the pinks, the bright colors. We'll do a few lighter colored stones and things like that too to bring that aspect into it. So,
I love bling.
yeah, for me, I'm like the more bling the better. I don't care. Just bling the whole
Right.
suit. I'm going to encrust the whole thing. It'll be good.
Perfect.
Anything else on that you can think of that you want to ask me that you're.
Will you be able to give recommendations once I have the suit color and the bling as far as like jewelry that I should?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I actually make jewelry too.
Okay.
So that's something we can talk about next time as well. I like I said, I like to encrust stuff. So I take your sample jewelry and make it beautiful and bling all over the place and match your outfit and all that kind of stuff too.
That's great.
So, cool. Awesome. All right, so that pretty much wraps everything up. I'm going to get to work making her pattern and constructing her suit. The next time that we get together, she'll actually have her finished suit put together. It won't have bling on it yet. That's the last step. But we'll make sure that we get it on her, we get it fitted to her. If there's any alterations that need to be made, we'll get those done at that time too. And we'll also start working on her presentation. The next time she comes here, we're going to do a little posing, we're going to do a little hair and makeup, just get her start practicing at that point. That's another thing you should start, at least a few months out from show, because you'd be surprised how difficult that kind of stuff is. So other than that, I appreciate you all watching, and we'll be back to see you next time.